Now to the investigation into the deadly plane collision in Inferno in Japan, looking into why the landing passenger jet slammed into a small plane on the runway. Matt Gutman is live in Tokyo with the very latest. Good morning, Matt.
Lindsay, good morning. Just moments ago, the Japanese Transport Ministry releasing a transcript of communication between the air traffic controller and the pilot of a Coast Guard plane. It seems at no point was that pilot given permission to cross onto the runway just as Japan Airways Flight 516 was landing. This morning, new transcripts from air traffic control shedding more light into what caused this catastrophic collision at one of the world's busiest airports between Japan Airlines Flight 516 and a Japanese Coast Guard plane.
Japan 516 continuously, please go right.
According to the transcript, the air traffic controller did not clear the Coast Guard plane to enter the runway. At 5:43 p.m., 4 minutes before the collision, the ATC instructed the Japan Airways jet to continue its approach. 5:45 p.m., ATC clearing the Japan Airways jet to land. 10 seconds later, the air traffic controller instructing the Coast Guard plane to proceed to a holding point on a taxiway to the runway. The Japanese Coast Guard now saying they were given permission to enter the runway. In its first statement since the crash, Japan Airlines praising the heroics of its crew. The airline saying that as the Airbus A350, a wide-body plane carrying 379 passengers and crew, landed, it clipped the Coast Guard plane which had entered the runway. The result was that fireball, and as the plane skidded to a stop, smoke filling the cabin. But the airline saying the plane's intercom failed, so the crew determined safe exits for evacuation and used megaphones and their own voices to steer passengers to 3 of the plane's functional 8 exits. Somehow, nearly 400 people scrambling out to safety in just seconds. Survivor Satoshi Amaki showing me the inferno outside the plane and saying despite the terror, passengers were calm and followed the crew's commands. Gact and Mayu say they saw the explosion from the terminal, showing me these photos of the inferno, which burned so hot the entire back end of the plane snapped off, smashing onto the runway. Aviation experts saying that the evacuation of Flight 516 was flawless and undoubtedly saved lives. Those same experts telling us, though, that had that Coast Guard plane nosed onto the runway just a few feet farther, the result would have been a cataclysmic explosion that they say would likely have been unsurvivable. George.
Okay, Matt, thanks very much. Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.